Hey everyone, today, if you hadn't already guessed by the title of the video, I'm going to be making a candle holder out of this lovely block of clay. This was about £4.99, that's British pounds, from a crafts shop, and you do get a lot for your money. I've actually already used a section of this, so the block was originally a lot bigger than it actually is. Today I'm using natural air drying clay, not the oven bake kind. So as well as this, you will need a container with some water in it, and you will also need a Tealight of some sort, or just the casing really. It doesn't have to actually have a Tealight in it. Let's just pop that back in there. Okay. Now, I've got my clay on a dinner tray that I've turned upside down so that I don't ruin the table, and also it's a good hard surface for me to start working on. So, our tea light holder is going to be a tree, and I'm going to start from the base and work upwards. So let's try and get some of this clay out of its packaging. And you don't want to use the whole block in one go. We're going to be starting from the bottom and working my way up. So we only need a little bit at a time. That should be enough. And I'm going to break off a piece now to start my base from. Put that to one side. Now this has been sitting in my art box for a good couple of months, but it has been sealed in an airtight container, so it's still reasonably squidgy. And this is where you want to start getting a bit messy. And we'll need a little bit of water on our hands just to help manoeuvre it a bit. Okay, so we are going to be trying to make a tree trunk, basically. So you want a good thick stern part like that, and gently push out the bottom part of your trunk, and it's up to you how big to make your tree, if you should so wish to make one, but I'm going to try and keep mine relatively small for now. Try and place it on your board, and don't worry at the moment if it's all looking a bit lumpy and disfigured, because you can quite easily smooth out all the imperfections. And I'm going to start pushing at the bottom to make some roots, because these parts are going to be very important and integral to our final design. So let's just bend him and push him up a bit. I'm going to make him a bit of a withered tree, I think. Okay. Just gently start pushing in and out all the bits, like all the little knobbly bits that trees have. Flatten that top bit. Make sure I can still pull him off the base. And then this is the time to start rubbing water on it so that you can mould your tree a bit better. And And I'm just pinching my finger and thumb together to, like so, just along the root. And I'm going to add a bit more. And anytime you're actually adding bits of clay, make sure it's very wet and make some little indents with your thumbnail or a tool, just like that, like little rivets, so that it fuses together with the other part of your clay. Otherwise, when it comes to dry, it will break off, and you don't want your model breaking. So just make sure that the other part is fused together by smoothing it out. And I'm going to give this root a little flick, a little bend, so that it sits nicely. Okay, so we kind of have a base for our tree now, as you can see. I'm just going to add a couple more roots to it and slowly work our way up. Okay, so now you have your roots in roughly the place you want them. You want to take your Tealight holder and try and slot it gently into one or more of the roots and partly wrap around it. Make sure you squeeze in quite tightly, but don't try to bend or ruin your model too much. Smooth out the edges. And then take out your Tealight holder, and you should have a perfectly circular gap for when it's dry to slot your Tealight into. So once that process is done, you want to let it dry for a couple of hours so that the base is set and this won't move too much. And then we're going to start on the top part of the tree and then branch it out. Okay, so as you can see, the bottom's kind of dry and we've got our Tealight holder nestled in there. So I'm just going to take that out, and this is all dry in here, so you can move it about. Sit it back on the tray, and now we're going to start working on the top part of the tree. So I've got this longish kind of thin part that I'm going to try and wrap around the top. Make sure it's damp. And I'm going to try and, as delicately as I can, add it to the top of the tree. Okay. Sorry. Making sure it's still got that kind of bend that I want, because I want it to be a creepy tree. flatten out the top part so that I can actually add my branches to it. Okay, make it very messy at the top so they've got lots of grooves to slot into, like so. Okay, then grab another piece of clay. Like so. And start to roll it out. And you want to do this about 3 times so that you've got 3 sort of sausage-like parts. And these will be your branches. So we've kind of got one. And eventually, once you have your 3 sections like this, you'll want to roll it out at one end a bit more so you can thin it out. Like so. So it kind of looks like a tail at the moment. Okay. So I'm just going to make some more little sausages for our branches. Okay, that's number 2. There we go. And again, they don't have to be perfect because all trees are different, so it doesn't matter too much. There we go. Okay, so we have our 3 parts. I'm going to try and join 2 of them together. And this might look a bit deformed at the moment, but don't worry, we're going to make sure they attach properly and then add clay around them to give them more stability. Like so. And then this is the part, well, the fun part where you get to manoeuvre and bend your branches any which way you like. And you can have as many or as little as you like. I like to stick with the rule of 3 and then sort of branch out from there. You can take little bits of clay and just layer them gently over the top so that they merge together with the branches, like so. And you can see we've started to build it up a bit more. This is actually looking a bit more tree-like now. Okay. And make sure to move and pick up your model regularly so that it doesn't stick to the board, and also so that you can actually look around the back and see what bits need working on around the back, because it might look perfect from the front, but if you turn it around and look at different angles, it might need a little bit more working on other parts. So, there we go, there's that part done. Now I'm just going to finish off a bit more by adding some more branches and some more detailing. So now we have our branches, our extra ones, and I think it looks kind of cool and creepy at the same time. We are almost finished, but I think for the finished product I'm going to add a few more branches, but for now I'm going to work on a bit of detailing. So you'll want to take an old pencil that you don't mind getting dirty and start to gently draw in some bark lines or some texture, whatever you wish. just to give it a bit more personality. I'm going to lightly smudge them over because I don't want them too deep, but I do want some texture on my tree. And down here. And although this bit is dry, you can still score it, like so. There we go. Okay. So that is our tree practically finished. In my next video I will be showing you how to paint it and the final product itself. I hope you enjoyed this little video and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.